The Tiger Rising, Chapter 19. Beauchamp hit the brakes. "We're almost there," he said. "You gotta close your eyes so it's a surprise." Rob closed his eyes and the Jeep went forward slowly. "Don't cheat now," Beauchamp said. "Keep them eyes closed." "Yes, sir," Rob said. "All right," Beauchamp said finally. "Go on and open 'em up." He had pulled the Jeep up as close to the tiger cage as possible without driving right into it. "Tell me what you see," he crowed. "Tell me what it is before you open your eyes." "A tiger," said Rob. He let his mouth drop open. He tried to look excited and amazed. "Damn straight," said Beauchamp. "King of the jungle, and he's all mine." "Wow," said Rob. "You own him?" "That's right," said Beauchamp. "Fellow I know owed me some money, paid me with a tiger. That's the way real men do business, in tigers. He come complete with the cage." The toothpick in the side of his mouth danced up and down. Beauchamp put a finger up to steady it into silence. "What are you going to do with him?" Rob asked. "I'm studying my options. I figure I could set him up out in front of the Kentucky Star and have him draw me some business into the motel." The tiger stood and stared at Beauchamp. Beauchamp looked away from him. He tapped his thick fingers on the steering wheel. "I also might just kill him," Beauchamp said, "and skin him and make me a tiger coat. I ain't made up my mind. He's a lot of work, I'll tell you that. He needs meat twice a day. That's where you come in. I need you to come out and feed him. $2 every time you do it. How's that sound?" Rob swallowed hard. "How do I get the meat in the cage?" Beauchamp dug in his pocket and pulled out a set of keys. "With these," he said. He shook the keys, and they gave a sad jingle. "Don't pay no attention to the big keys. They're for the locks on the doors. Open them up, and the tiger will get out and eat you for sure, you understand? I ought not to give you this whole set, but I know you won't open up that door, right? You ain't no fool, right?" Rob, terrified that keys to the cage existed and that they were about to be handed to him, nodded. "See this tiny key?" Beauchamp said. Rob nodded again. "That's for the food door, right there." Beauchamp pointed to a small door at the bottom of the cage. "You just open that up and toss the meat in a piece at a time, like this." Beauchamp swung himself out of the Jeep with a grunt. He reached into the back seat for the grocery bag and took out a piece of meat, bent over, unlocked the tiny door, opened it, and threw the meat in. The tiger leaped forward, and Beauchamp took a quick step backward, stumbling. "Well, that's all there is to it," he said, straightening up. His forehead was shining with sweat, and his hands were trembling. "What's the tiger's name?" Rob asked. "Name?" said Beauchamp. "He ain't got a name. You got to name something before you toss it a piece of meat." Rob shrugged and blushed. He bent over to scratch his leg so that he wouldn't have to look at Beauchamp's sweaty, angry face. "You want to get introduced proper?" Beauchamp said in a mocking voice. "Well then, get out of the Jeep." Rob climbed down. Beauchamp grabbed hold of the fence and shook it. The tiger looked up from his meat. The muzzle was red with blood, and he stared at Beauchamp with a fierce look in his eyes that was familiar to Rob. "Hey!" Beauchamp shouted. "You see this boy here?" He pointed at Rob. "He's your meal ticket. Not me. This boy. He's got the keys now, understand? I don't got him no more. This boy's got you. Got him. He's your boy." The tiger stared at Beauchamp a minute more, and then he slowly lowered his head and started back to work on the meat. "Now you two know each other," said Beauchamp. He pulled a tattered bandana from his pocket and wiped the sweat off his forehead. On the hair-raising ride back to the Kentucky Star, Rob realized who the tiger stare reminded him of. It was Sistine. He knew that when he told her he had the keys to the cage, her eyes would glow with the same fierce light. He knew that she would insist that now they had to let the tiger go.